As we're walking to the movie theater, I decided to make my move on such a pretty girl. I slipped my arm around her waist, and to my surprise, she pushed me away and got serious and looked at me and said, "I'm really sorry because you seem like a nice guy, but I'm lesbian." Sitting through the Chronicles of Narnia with her was the most awkward 2 hours of my life. Welcome to Herd Talks, the podcast for Marshall students by Marshall students. I'm Luke Jeffrey.
I'm Ashley McClure.
And have you heard? Blind dates. Tinder just recently rolled out a blind dating feature, so we are here to give you the top blind dating horror stories so you know what to avoid.
Personally, I haven't dealt much with Tinder, and these stories are going to be like my point why I don't.
yeah, that's completely fair. I'm a little familiar with Tinder. I don't use it myself, but I have a buddy who recently wanted to get into it. I guess he's feeling a little down, a little lonely,
lonely.
So he's like, "Luke, you seem super swagalicious.
Oh my gosh.
Why don't you help me? Will you make sure my profile looks good?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, man. I'll help. I'll put on the mind of a woman and make sure
mind of a woman.
Make sure that your profile looks good." And he's like, "All right, thanks, man. I really appreciate it." And so, like, during the entire thing, like, his bio was pretty good and all that, but he kept wanting to make his profile picture an unlit cigarette.
An unlit
like
cigarette.
Just a regular cigarette. And I'm like, "Dude, you have to make it a picture of yourself. Like,
yeah.
We're not going for the aesthetic." And he's like, I just think it says so much about me." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? An unlit cigarette?" And he said, "Yeah, because I'm looking for matches."
No. Okay. I could see where he's going with that, but no, he missed that shot. No.
Yeah. Well, good for him, I guess. I don't know how it worked out. But
I'm just about that swagalicious. Like, where did that come from here?
You've never heard someone be called swagalicious?
I just didn't expect you to call yourself swagalicious.
Well, that's because I am.
Oh.
I'm sure everybody else can attest. Anyway, the new Tinder blind dating feature is brand new, so we don't have horror stories available from it yet.
Yet?
But I'm sure they will be coming out soon. Keep that on your radar.
Yes.
So we got these from the wonderful depths of Reddit. Which is arguably even better. So for the first horror story, keep in mind they are written from the perspective of the individual, and we are reading them from the perspective of the individual. They are not about us.
They are not ours.
They are all written in first person, so we'll be reading them as if they were us. So, our first. I got set up with the daughter of one of my parents' friends. I wasn't really looking forward to it, but I was on break from college, and she apparently went to school not far from me, so it wasn't like a lost cause summer romance type thing. My parents showed me pictures and said nice things about her, so I thought I'll give it a shot. The date's arranged. I picked her up from her parents' place because we were both home for the summer, and I was a little surprised by just how pretty she was. The pictures had been from when she was in high school, and they did not do her justice to how she looks now. The date, classic, dinner and a movie. Dinner went really well. We had a lot in common. She was very grounded and down to earth, cared about the environment, polite, mannered. If I had a type, she was it.
Okay.
As we're walking to the movie theater, I decided to make my move on such a pretty girl. I slipped my arm around her waist, and to my surprise, she pushed me away and got serious and looked at me and said, "I'm really sorry because you seem like a nice guy, but I'm lesbian." I just went out with you to make my parents happy. Sitting through the Chronicles of Narnia with her was the most awkward 2 hours of my life.
Oh my gosh.
As a bonus,
we
have a comment on this Reddit thread, and I just had to throw it in. The comment says, "She was so far in the closet you both found Narnia?" And
hey, props to that guy. Yeah, that's a good one.
The comment may be better than the story, but I had to share it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, gosh. No, that was a good one.
If you're in that situation and you are on the end of the girl, be upfront early.
Yeah.
Don't go in that far. Like, she waited
this
until
guy was
after
excited.
the dinner.
Yeah.
She ate the dinner, and this man was thinking, "This girl is beautiful. She's my type. She's the one." And then she waited until that happened. Like, I feel like that's something you should mention at the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, like, this is just for whatever. Like, at least split the bill with them.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
But anyway.
Okay. My turn. Okay. It involves Tinder, of course. I had a date with some guy I have been chatting with, and we agreed to meet at a pool hall. I had my mother take me because my car broke down. I got there 10 minutes early and sat down at a booth and texted him that I was there, and he just said, I told you to message me when you were on your way over. And I was like, sorry, I forgot, but I'm here right now if you want to head over. And literally this guy just goes, you should have messaged me. You can just sit there by yourself. Dead serious. And then continued to argue with me when I told him what a piece of crap he was. Never used Tinder since, and I never needed to.
Yeah.
I mean, and then another comment like yours, control freak. Glad you avoided him.
Well, I mean, at that point, that's it's a different type of blind date. She never even saw him. So
Yeah. I mean, how rude. What the heck?
always text them
She
when
was
you're on your way.
Early.
Apparently.
I guess so.
That's the key. Huh. Well, she should have just lied and like, oh yeah, it was a typo. I mean, I'm on my way. I'm not there yet. And just waited.
Nah,
Well,
I would have
maybe
been
not,
done.
because she avoided something, so
Yes.
that's all right. Coming in with our third story. I chatted a girl up online for about a week or so. Things went pretty well, so we decided to meet up. I asked her out for dinner and said that if things went all right, we'd go grab a drink. Let's just say her photo did not match her appearance.
Oh, no.
Her excuse was that she had a crazy ex that was stalking her, so she used her sister's photo and name. Her name. She lied about her name. Anyway, come to find out through our date interview that she was an only child. She didn't catch her slip up, but I sure did. You know, the one about using her sister's photo. She rambled on and on about stuff that I really could not have cared less about. Then came the food. This is one of those, but wait, it's worse stories. So then came the food. The waitress may as well have brought it out in a trough, as this woman did not use her utensils. Keep in mind, we're at a steak restaurant. That's right, folks. She picked her steak up and ate it with her hands. And let's not even get into the mashed potatoes. It was the worst date of my life. Here was this disgusting, uninteresting, no-mannered woman devouring her food in front of me. I couldn't eat my meal. I told her I wasn't feeling well and that I was just going to get it in a box to go and I'd eat it later if I felt better, to spare her feelings at least. And her response was, would you mind if I ate it? And you would think this person hadn't eaten in a week, as she proceeded to devour my dinner as well. Both steaks, both sets of mashed potatoes, all the bread, everything, no utensils. The waitress proceeds to come over and says, goodness, when is your due date? So she says she's due in 2 months. First off, I couldn't believe the waitress asked, but then I was floored at the girl's response. Unbelievable. Being the gentleman that I am, I picked up the check because, hey, it wasn't going to pay itself, and I'd much rather fit the bill for dinner than go to jail. I kindly said it was nice to meet you, got in my car, and went to the bar. Where, it's not done, but wait, it gets worse. She followed me. She followed me to the bar, and when I got out of my car, proceeded to berate me over why I was going out instead of going home. She called me a liar in the parking lot of the bar I frequent, and my work buddy started to roll in. I never heard the end of it. I said, to heck with this stuff. Got in my car and drove home. I'm surprised she didn't follow him there. That's the end of the story, but
Wow. That was a roller coaster.
That was a novel. It was straight up a novel.
Yeah.
I mean, whew.
That's a lot to that's a lot to digest. Yes! Oh, that's a good one. I'm proud of myself on that one.
Yeah. She was digesting a lot. I just, like, the fact that she was pregnant and didn't say anything.
She wanted that child support.
I guess. Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, well. All right, well, that was my favorite one. Okay, here's mine. Number 4. I met this guy I got to know through a dating app for the first time very recently, and oh my gosh, there was no flow to our conversation whatsoever. Like, he'd ask me a question, I'd answer it, then he asked me another. Asked me questions about when I plan to retire, when I see myself in 10 years, whether I was right or left leaning, touched upon some sensitive issues pertaining to society, and I was sitting there like, what the heck? When do I get to leave? I assure you, I sat there out of sheer politeness. And do some guys lie a lot on their first dates just to impress the other? Because we catch on to it, bro. Thanks to him for the interview prep, though. So this girl, like, went on a date and basically was just, like, in an interview. You know? Like, that's awful. Why would you want to just, like, pry into her life like that?
I guess he's a straightforward guy. Honestly, that seems like something I might do.
Really?
Maybe. I don't know if I'd be that bad with it, but like, in my mind, I'm like, I want to get to know the person, so I would start asking questions. And I'm a listener. I don't, you know, I would rather listen to someone talk than talk myself. So, asking questions is a perfect way to accomplish that.
But then she talks about, like, do guys lie a lot on their first dates? Because we catch on to it, bro, is what she said. And so...
I'd say most of them do.
Yeah?
Like, yeah.
See, like, just be honest.
I don't lie. I'm a man of truth and virtue.
Oh, gosh.
Honest Abe. They call me Honest Luke.
Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah.
Okay, Abe. Like,
yeah, that's my nickname in high school. Honest Abe.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It wasn't.
No, it was not.
I always wanted a nickname, but I never got one. Sad.
Wow.
I had some people call me Skywalker for a little bit.
Skywalker?
It's like Luke Skywalker.
Oh, okay.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I really like Star Wars. So.
I mean, going back to our last episode, Princess Luke, I mean, you got that
Princess
nickname.
Luke, yeah.
Princess Luke.
You know, Leia is now technically a Disney princess.
Okay.
Because Disney bought Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting little tidbit. For our last blind date, we're wrapping it up. This one, not the conventional blind date, kind of a surprise blind date to the person who was actually going on it.
Okay.
They did not know they were on a blind date.
Oh.
You'll see what I mean in a minute. So, I just come back from college and was having a night drinking at the local watering hole when I noticed the place had a new bartender. A new, attractive bartender. Short hair, nice tattoos, and they were leading to interesting places. And she had an Electric Six shirt. Heck yeah. I don't know what Electric Six is, but apparently this guy it really likes it. I'm assuming it's a band.
Yeah.
So I start making a bit of conversation, and much to my surprise, we seem to really hit it off. And not just bartender is everyone's best friend until they leave hitting it off, but really cool, seems interested hitting it off. She starts hinting if I'm seeing anyone. I say no, and she immediately reaches into her pocket and starts writing something down. On top is the number at the apartment, and these are the directions. We're having a party on Wednesday night, and you should come, she said. True enough, a phone number and directions. What would you think? I'm scoring. Wednesday comes, and I'm dressed up, ready to impress. I head over her place, knock on the door, and there she is looking amazing. She smiles, hugs me, grabs me by the hand, and drags me through the party until she gets to this big dude. Jonas, this is my roommate, Jeff. Jeff, this is Jonas. I do the whole pleasantry thing, but when I turn around, she's gone. I mean, poof. Gone. Like Batman. Not knowing anyone else, I just keep on talking to Jeff until she returns. I figured she had something to tend to since the party was at her house. And Jeff seems like a good guy. We're talking for a few minutes, and suddenly he stops me mid-sentence and says, "You're not gay, are you?" No?
Aww.
You should really tell Liz that. She apparently set up the entire part as an excuse to hook me up with her gay roommate. I'd been on a blind date with a dude and didn't even know it.
Oh my gosh. Man, that's unfortunate for that dude.
Yeah. For both, like, everyone lost in
Everyone
that situation.
did.
Like,
They really did.
The other ones, at least, like, the bad people, like, someone got their meal paid for, or, you know, nobody won
Everyone
that situation.
lost.
No,
You just have just an awkward encounter.
It was a lose-lose-lose.
Yes.
And I wonder if the dude ever went back to the bar and the bartender was there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that'd be awkward, too, at that point. Not much you can do in that situation.
No.
Yeah. Well.
Well, on that note.
Yeah. Now you know what to look for in your blind dating experiences and red flags. And if you want to see any more, there are tons of Reddit threads out there. I've been looking at them all day and had to just pick some appropriate.
Yes,
ones.
there's a lot more. There's a lot more guy ones than girl ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know why that is. Maybe.
Like, it's crazy.
Maybe girls have more success on blind dates than guys.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue. But if you're interested, go look at those. You now know what to look for your red flags on Tinder when you use the new blind dating feature. So, thank you all for watching. If you will go to the description below and you haven't seen our episodes, you can go find all of our directories there, as well as all of our social medias. Go be sure to click on those, follow all of those. We post stuff on everything, so make sure there's nothing you haven't heard on campus.
See ya.
So, about that Tinder.
About that Tinder.
That is just so crazy. Like, would you ever go on a blind date?
I don't know. It'd have to be a friend that I really trust.
Yeah, I think that's the key. You
Yeah.
get a mutual friend that you really trust them and they really trust the other person.
Yeah.
And that's like